Look, for as long as I can remember, people have been predicting that the market would crash due to the pandemic, inflation, high interest rates, etc., etc. Well, another year has come, and I am here to tell you that 2024 will be a twister for housing. I am going to show you 3 major trends that you need to consider if you have been thinking of making a move next year, and my recommendations on what you can do. How does the housing market work? They operate when demand meets supply. Take Jack. Here, he wants to buy a house from Susan, who wants to sell her a house. In a normal market, they come to a meeting of the minds and Jack buys a house from Susan. The assumption is that Jack is buying based on what he can afford, and it just so happens that Susan here has a home that fits his budget, size, style, etc., etc. Now, since COVID though, and all those lockdowns, people couldn't work because they were afraid they would get COVID. So the government poured a boatload of money into the economy to keep people spending and the economy chugging along. That was in 2021. But the government may have dumped a little bit too much money as people were buying all sorts of crazy stuff. Demand couldn't keep up with supply and prices started spiraling out of control. So much so that everything from food, clothing, and housing started to go sky high. To tap this down, the feds began increasing the Fed rate, which in turn increased the mortgage rate. Today, mortgage rates are an all-time high. For someone like Jack, his monthly costs have just doubled to buy a place like this that Susan has, pricing him out of the market. And so Jack is no longer in the market. Something stranger happened for Susan. See, Susan as a homeowner, on the other hand, had probably locked in a super low mortgage rate before the rate hikes in 2022. So she's just chilling in her home and she's totally fine waiting things out until the market dynamic kicks back in. So that leads me to today. Here are the top 3 things that will determine how the housing market does in the next 12 months. 1. People can't wait to move forever. Look guys, sometimes people just gotta move because they have to move. Maybe it's for a new job, a growing family, perhaps a job relocation, or they just need a change of pace sometimes. Lord knows, I am always looking for a change. People can't be solely focused on mortgage rates forever. And let me tell you, some people have been waiting since the start of COVID in 2020. So I predict that people will suck it up and just have to make a move. Number 2, the Fed will have to jumpstart the economy again eventually. As soon as the Feds announce that they will have inflation under control, which all indicators are showing it will likely be in the next 12 months, in order to do that, one of their levers is to drop the Fed's rates so companies can start borrowing money more inexpensively to grow their business, which will jumpstart the economy. But once those rates come down, even a little bit, buyers like Jack are going to rush the market and sellers like Susan may be ready to make a move and the market is going to go bananas. Finally, and lastly, it's going to be an election year. Normally in an election year here in the US, not much happens. The government is a lame duck and not many new bills get passed in Congress. And everyone is focused on the presidential election. So it will be more of the same you see today, until probably 2025. So my key takeaway is that if mortgage rates come down even a little bit and buyers have to move because they can't wait any longer, there will be a flood of buyers jumping into the market, buying what homes exist. Only until homeowners like Susan decides to sell will we return to a normal market of demand and supply. Until then, my friends, expect prices to go even higher than they are today and the return of bidding wars for those homes that are desirable. If you've been thinking about getting back into the market in the next 12 to 24 months, I recommend that you do it now and not wait. Maybe you won't find the perfect place or you'll end up with a higher mortgage rate. You can always sell later or refinance to a lower rate. At least you can avoid the crazy market that we saw in 2022. So, what do you think? Let's hear your predictions for 2024. Leave your comments below and I promise to personally respond to you. Thanks for watching. Before you run, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Oh, and if you want more juicy info, watch this next video on your real estate journey. Later.